and we'll roll the old printing press along. We'll roll the old printing press along. We'll roll the old printing press along, and we'll all hang out in kind. Howdy, folks, it's Johan, your favorite little ink blob, back at it today with a continuation of some Celeste. Welcome in, Tira. Celibacy. Is this, in fact, actually Celestebacy? Because that I could fully get. But, hope you're doing well. I'm, very hopeful that we will actually get through this today. Hey, welcome in, Alyssa. How goes? Boop. Bow, 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 bow. Boop, boop. Whoa, no. Oh, fascinating. Hold up, one moment. It's like, I'm seeing it in the Twitch chat, but I'm not seeing it on my screen normally, because for some reason, chat decided to be, on the other side of the world. So, there we go. Now I can actually see y'all, conveniently. I'm glad you're doing super well. This is fantastic news. Very glad to hear it. Anything fancy in particular, or just an all-around good day? I know, all the way on the other side of the world. It's insane. It's also quite insane that I can fit the entire world on my desk, but you know, sometimes it feels like that. Recently bought a puzzle game called Leaf's Odyssey. Okay. I will fully admit, with the term Odyssey, I was expecting it to be like Leif Erikson, but do you follow the life cycle of a leaf, or is it a character named Leaf? I'm curious. Tell me more. Got the opportunity to of being a judge in a beatboxing competition. Oh hell yeah! That's awesome. I remember you talking about being like really. I can't remember if it was actual like professional beatboxing, but just like high tier beatboxing. That's super cool. Oh, a ferret named Leaf. Oh, that's adorable. I will fully admit, like, once I'd gone over, like, oh, Leif Erikson, I was kind of thinking, I love leaves, and maybe a slightly weirdo thing, but I adore in the autumn, like, catching a leaf on its way to the ground, because it makes me think about, like, the life cycle of that leaf, and the fact that I got to be there at that particular moment, that after this entire year, it's falling to the ground. I don't know, I like that. I was thinking it might be something along those lines, meditative. But a ferret named Leaf is incredibly adorable and delightful. And she sailed the 7th sea? We're trying, man, we're trying. If only we could surf the waves. But welcome in, Nobo. Isn't this very early, Haunt? So it's later than what I was saying, Carsey, because unfortunately, again, I'm kind of off a schedule at this point, and it's going to get even dicier. Because I, unfortunately, air quotes, unfortunately I need to pay money to live, which I know, terrible concept. I mean, why would I do such a thing? But as part of that, to acquire money, I need to sell my labor, and as much fun as I have with this, you know. So I've got an interview at a part-time retail position today that will hopefully allow me to afford continuing to work at the library until I can get a good position at the library that would then allow me to just generally afford to work one job, which would be great. But we'll see. I'm also doing a, like, career development meeting with someone, because I do have an interview for a different part-time library position that would position me better on Wednesday. So, life is a little crazy, but I did some of the stuff that I needed to do last night, so I've got a little time today until about 1 my time, so around an hour from now, I'm like, I would like to do some Celeste and hang out with folks. So here we are. You've been playing Crypto the Necrodancer earlier. Oh, nice. Doing more Miku? You're gonna keep playing, right? That seems absolutely legit. I can live in your basement for free if I wanted. I mean, hell yeah. I feel like the immigration stuff might get a little difficult, but, like, I mean, rent seems good. Currently living rent-free. Cost is just mental health about how careful I have to be about some things, but you know, if I can get past that requirement, who knows? I've heard good things about the Netherlands, I guess. It's fine. Hey, welcome in, Aya. How goes? And hey, welcome in, Marcus. How goes it for you? It's inspired by Deadly Rooms of Death, but has very different vibes and also an actually normal control scheme. I'm unfamiliar with Deadly Rooms of Death, but goodness. Oh, as a player character that can move diagonally and preferred input method is using the Away with ye. God, that's... Rogue and Hyper Rogue both also really liked the numpad, didn't they? Oh, your basement is where I practice your beatboxing, so I might be woken up at 7 AM. I'm a terrifyingly deep sleeper sometimes. So, you know, that could probably work. I think my FL Studio free trial is about to no longer exist. Oh no! Wait, FL Studio. Brain. FL. What is that standing for? For a moment, for some reason, I was thinking LMMS, which is a, boop boop. Sorry. Concentrating. No, not the upright. Flea Studio. Oh, Flan Studio. No, LMMS is a music one, but that's entirely free. So I don't know. I love Flan. I like Flan too. I actually only had Flan for the first time like a year ago. It was some sort of pre-bought like box store one, but turns out it was good. I like puddings, I guess. I need to learn how to make puddings myself. I guess, is it a pudding? It's pudding adjacent at the very least. Like not like not the like super soft pudding, but like a good boiled pudding kind of deal. Personally stuck with the letters whenever I did keyboard input on Hyper Rogue. Just felt like it made more sense with Hyper Rogue's irregular grid to use irregular grid of keys. Fair. The Hyper Rogue is mainly played with mouse. Also fair. Oh, it's just I found it interesting because there's basically my numpad lies barren and deserted upon my keyboard because I mean, like, what uses it? It's not like I want to use the numpad. I'm used to typing with the normal number keys. So it's goofy to me whenever that sees some use, but even if it is not mainly used. Boop. Oh, also, by the way, I mean, I guess time zone wise it may be a little late, but happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Hope that everyone's... Oh my god, I'm not wearing green. I should have made my pot green for today. No! The trials and tribulations of being way too effing busy. Y'all can pinch me now. I'm pinchable, terrible. But hopefully folks are using this as a lovely excuse to have some fantastic like potato-based dishes or other traditional Irish things. And if you are of an appropriate age, hopefully also having some good drinks in honor of the day. Hey, welcome in, Ollie. How it goes? Please, numpad's good for doing... Okay, for doing ASCIIs. This is fair. I do sometimes use it for punching in, like, Unicode characters, but... Man, I much prefer my Chromebook's way of doing it, which is just, like, Control-U plus all of the things that you need. Is that why I'm seeing so many leprechauns in Crypto the Necrodancer? That would probably be it. Do you know? Okay. Way that I remember St. Patrick's Day. So, you've kind of got, like, 3 days all tucked together, because you've got 3/14 is Pi Day. And I guess Mario Day I should remember. So, 3/10, Mar-10, Mario. 3/14, Pi Day. Gotta remember Pi Day. 3/15, that one I remember just, I guess, maybe because I'm a slightly weird nerd and go, it's the Ides of March! Love when Julius Caesar was stabbed, even if... I don't know if the calendar stayed consistent, like, I don't know if that's an actual anniversary or not, but in principle it's an anniversary. And then 17th of March being St. Patrick's Day. I actually remember that one because of a lovely little song by a band called Gaelic Storm. It was on the 17th of March, she lay in Mohill Bay, and the captain being an Irishman did celebrate the day. So if anyone is interested, check out Girls of Dublin Town by Gaelic Storm. It is, in my opinion, the best way to remember the date. Really funny to me how... Okay, what you never... Oh, points or a point, okay. I just need to read the rest of that sentence. Halfway done crocheting a bag for your little niece, but it's nagging me so much that it's way too big, so I'm gonna take the whole thing apart and start all the way over. Oh my god. Oh, that was my oh my god, but you are also saying my god, so you know what? Valid. That seems like a lot of work to do over. Actually, that's the peseta sign. What the what now? Rather half a bag for too small than too big. She's 3. This is fair. I definitely was of the philosophy of like, well, my parents were, and then as I got older, I was like, I would rather you get me things that are way oversized so that I grow into them rather than the other way around. But I think for like actual day-to-day use, that was probably not the best move. Martin? Who the hell is Martin? I know. Good question, Uno. No, Mario. Wait, were you... I know chat is the one that informed me. Were you the one? Are you just especially pulling my lack of legs? Not points. I'm sorry. Forgive me for thinking in the context of what I assumed to be a video game, that PT or PTS was points. Love crocheting, so it's alright, but oh well. Yeah. It's more work, but hopefully, as you're saying, you enjoy the work, so that's something. And it's part of the process, right? Like, the end result, even if you go, oh, you know, oh, it's wasted because I had to undo it. Yes and no, because, you know, you wouldn't have necessarily known what you did know about it without it. Oh, it's the Spanish currency symbol. I've never actually seen it like that. Huh. Fascinating. I have been done a learn. Oh, because it... Okay. Okay. Because it's not in... I was like, what? Peseta? Yeah. Well, okay, so part of it, I was like, I haven't seen that. I have not... Well, fully admit my knowledge of the world has been somewhat limited until the past, like, couple years, and so if that currency was no longer used as of 2002, I am suddenly less surprised. Oh my god. At least we're getting that down better. I mean, it's been 15 minutes and we've already gotten two cracks at the ice maze. But yeah, so okay. I feel slightly less bad about that, but also intrigued because I have to assume, I guess I also have not actually looked at it currently, but I assume Spain is on the euro like the vast majority of the European Union. I know that's not true of every country. I was going to say looks meaningfully at the UK, but I guess that's a... Moving on. Peseta, that's so last century. Like, oh my god. Well, again, apparently until 2002, so still technically partly this century. But think emoji, what it means. Why did you write this article? I mean, I would bet you good money, Uno. It probably wasn't a person writing that article. Just at least, like, if... I guess it depends. Like, if that's an article that came out within, like, the past year or two, that's almost assuredly AI, and I would be unsurprised. But if it is a person doing that, I'm intrigued. I want to know more about this person's brain. Boop. God damn. The sadness. But yeah, so, just here chilling. I really want to get through this. Me, chilling immediately, but I want to hit the goal. I really want to get through this. We've spent almost 6 hours on just this. But I believe in our strength. At least I have V-hips. What? What's a V-hip? Taking apart is taking you so long? Yeah. It is AI? Okay, I am unsurprised. Oh, chips! I love my V-hips. Crunch, crunch. Oh! Yeah, chips make a lot of things better. I've been getting myself, I've got like got like $20 set aside per month for a treat budget because I am weirdo who's like, I should get like a little bit, but not a whole lot. To me, chips are treat, sadly. So I've been spending it on pie for Pie Day and a little bit of ice cream because it's been warm. And that seems nice. Yeah, it's not a big treat budget because I'm making like the amount I'm currently making I can only afford because I'm basically not a functional adult contributing to society. I say being particularly demeaning to myself. No, because I do not have a huge amount of bills that I'm paying right now because my income is not a whole lot. But I'm gonna work on that, and if I get this part-time position, depending on how many hours they give me, I should hopefully, even be able to like rightfully afford that treat budget, in addition to like paying rent and utilities. So that'd be nice. We'll see. You're so mad you died Mistbeat? Oh no! No! Pain! Pain. The enigmatic symbol of the thinking emoji can create a play on words and emphasize sarcasm or irony of a message. Its meaning can be interpreted different. Oh god, yeah, no, that. I'm trying to. There was some post that I saw where, it was like an analysis of a video, and I'm looking at them like, you can't. There's a lot of people that seem to think that like, oh, you know, you can tell AI writing by like how it's written. There's a reason why no AI writing detection tool, to the best of my knowledge, granted I have not looked at it in the past 6 months, but like, you can't, there's not been a successful consistent detector of it, because like, sometimes people write in a fancy way. The biggest thing I think is context, and like, is this someone who is writing for an audience, or is this someone who is just writing for, you know, is this, oh, here's a general thing on this topic, I can answer that informatively. Oh, hey, welcome in. Okay, brain. Klage? I think we settle on Klage rather than Klage. But welcome in. Thank you for the good luck. We're trying. I'm really hoping. It's been almost 6 hours all told across several streams, and I really want to get it done. I believe. Next time you see a thinking emoticon as if this is a rare occurrence. Yeah. Intriguing article. OMG, finally done unwinding the whole thing. Yay! Progress through unprogress. Third try, already unwound once before. Dun 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 dun. Well, you know what they say about the third try, right? It's the charm. So, yeah. You know, I've just mentally sniped myself because I'm realizing I don't know where third time's the charm came from. Like, why is that? I know that 3 is in a number of cultures considered like a lucky or magic thing, so I wonder if there's something there? I don't remember if there's like a particular reason for it being 3, but funny thing about 7C, it's about 50 seconds to a minute long. Yeah, I know. 7th time's the charm. Yes, I've also heard, you know, lucky number 7. But yeah, no, I know that it can be done super quickly, as can most of the seasides, but as with platformers, you gotta learn and go through that struggle. Boop, 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 boop. Bam, bam, bam. Okay. Don't mess that up. No! Immediately messes up. Okay. No. Went from 1 hour 30 for your first 7C completion to 8 minutes for your second one. Nice. Yeah, no, that's I rest my laurels on Jump King having my first time take like 50 hours, and my second run through that I did, I'm like, oh, how quickly can I do this? Did it in 50 minutes, the same stream that I completed it. And I was like, god damn, that's a factor of, whoo boy. Factor of 100? Hey! Hello, Pug. How be the ye? 2 days ago, you did golden. Hell yeah. I think you were talking about that last stream, wanting to do that. That's super impressive. Congrats. What? You got distracted by Lingo 2, I see. Yeah, I still need to play the demo on that, and I will keep an eye on it. I have, because of the spring sale, already spent my game budget for the month. Actually, probably technically overspent it a bit. But you know what? I have also saved on other months, but depending on... I assume it will not go on sale anytime soon, but depending on how my employment pans out, I might also feel more comfortable buying it outright, but not right now. I still need to do the demo, though. Continue to play Lingo 2 while watching stream? That seems like the best move. I am prime second screen content. You just have me yapping in the background, failing over and over with the occasional payoff. Thank you very much for the follow, Claudia. Working 7A now, not too hard, but really lengthy. Oh, for the golden, yes. Yeah, so just, even if it's not that difficult, there's just so many opportunities to mess up. He turned off the lights on the entire level? Huh? Aren't I meant to go to the bottom? What, on the other thing? No, you can also go up, and I think up is better. I've actually gone the up and over route twice this stream. I think I like up better, because I think it puts me at a better bouncing off position to go into the Caves of Doom. Boop, boop, boop. Like, we're getting through that a lot, oh my god, a lot more consistently, but we're still struggling there. You usually do down? Okay. It's time I pause to reply. Let the thinking emoji do the talking. It might just say more than words ever could. You can barely walk on the second level of Zone 4 as Miku. First song is slow, but the enemies have weird patterns. Level 2 just says FU 165 BPM. Goodness. You do down by, like, just... Basically, you're ignoring the bouncy properties of the cloud, I think. Because it's a lot more consistent if you just demo through the bottom hole. Yeah, but I don't know demo! Demo... Isn't that... Oh... I'm like 90% sure that's a Japanese word, because as soon as you said demo, my brain was like, ah, yes, that is a thinking noise in Japanese. But I don't know what it actually means, so I could be wrong. Demo dash. I remember, but... Does a casual play or demo through the bottom hole? No, but you're funny. Yes. No, and that's why I know that involves demolition. I remember at one point we had like an in-depth conversation about what it was without actually fully explaining how to do it. But yeah. Ah. Oh, crouch dash? I could see that. Demo dash is named after someone who didn't discover demo dashing. Also, welcome in, Rain Cloud. How goes? It's literally control you can set in, literally a control you can set in the controls. Oh, huh. This is usually a good start to a statement. Just advanced section, crouch dash. Huh? Like, wait, what? I do not see a advanced. Oh, in the configs. Oh, okay. Well then, never mind. Boop. Bam. Oh, controller. Oh. Okay. Crouch dash. Oh. Oh, so it just automatically does it for you? Huh. Okay. Good to know. I don't know when that's useful, but now we have it. Because I'm assuming that's good for, like, if you have to dash through something that's spiky on the top, but yeah, usually when going up, yeah, that would... What? Crouching doesn't increase the height you go through? I can dash through spikes now. Well, I assume not all spikes. If the wall is thin enough. Okay. Whoop. It's pixel perfect. Yeah, we might not get there. You know, details. Ba ba da ba ba. Bum bum bum. I do also. So okay. Oh, focus on. No. Hey, at least that's, I still think, technically a record because I have not managed to do a right dash there. Pain. I was just going to say, in general, I'm trying to get a better handle on, even though I don't have like a schedule, and especially if I do end up back in retail, that's kind of, shift work is not really conducive to any sort of schedule. But I want to get to the point, I'm realizing that I'm like overwhelming myself trying to say like, oh, I should do a pre-record, like every weekday, like I used to stream kind of thing. It's just not it. But I think my new goal is I'm going to be trying to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, have a pre-record of something up, and then when I do have time to stream, I will be posting those like Tuesdays and Thursdays, or maybe I'll even do it like the same day I stream as just like, ooh, little extra bonus thing. But new goal, going to try and have something for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I need to record something today because my weekend was also busy. We'll see. But we did do the second playthrough of Refined Self. So that is up there. Pain. So that is up there now, and it's neat. I'm still genuinely like, if you want to watch me play it, awesome, go ahead and do that, but highly recommend it from just what I've interacted with. It seems so good. Like, I'm still trying to figure out if there's like a meta narrative or anything like that, but even just like outside of the story it's telling, it's done a lot to like just sort of get me thinking and feel kind of positively. So highly recommend it. Super cute game. But yeah. Some demos have setups though, then they are consistent. Okay. Using only demo dash also means you can't super, but that's not needed like at all in the main game. Okay. Because I don't super, I ultra, right? Or hyper, too many prefixes like that. Stream once every blue moon? You actually, okay, that would be, I know it's an expression, but I would be delighted by someone who actually like scheduled their streams by the moon. Like, yes, I will only do this whenever there's a month with 2 full moons. I will only stream on the 2nd full moon. That would be... I could see that being a great art project. That's... I love stuff like that, where it's just, like, goofy friggin' art. I think I've talked about, like, the KLF, the Justified Agents of Mu, the guys who, like, ended up... They wrote a book about how to, like, write a hit record single that people follow, and it's like, oh, crap, that works. And they just basically wrote a whole bunch of, like, one-off things reinventing themselves every time, and then burned the money from the sales. Would you like a jelly baby? Says, would you like a jelly baby? I mean, oh no, wait, which doctor is that? I know that's Doctor Who, but I don't remember which doctor. But I mean, in principle, I would love a jelly baby. Jelly babies are great. Hold up. Would you like a jelly baby, doctor? That, okay, Doctor Who. That saves the search. But wait, which doctor is that? It's before the it's second doctor. Okay, yes, I'm like, I could have sworn I remember this. Okay. So yes, I've wait, 4? Hold up. Brain. Why did it say second Doctor? Did it say season 2 and I just misread that? Oh no, it was just asked once. Okay. So no, I have not watched 4th Doctor. But okay. But yes, I've watched all of 1, part of 2, and then 9 through, or because 10 was 10 and that was after Eccleston. So yeah, so 9 through 11? On May 31st, 2026 for the next blue moon. All right, mark it on your calendars. Supers are jumping with dashing, hypers are jumping with crouch dashing, ultras are a horrible mess of random pieces of code that just combine together that somehow end up working. Okay, so I both super and hyper, but I don't ultra. Got it. My god, level 3, 172 BPM, you died instantly? Oh dear god. Your fingers and or wrist, to keep up with the key presses, that sounds utterly insane. Browsing the Celeste section of Twitch and who's the neat ink spirit? Yeah, weird. I never heard of him. But you know, I'm sure he's probably a real cool guy. But thanks for choosing here over random ink spirit. I don't know about that. Welcome in, Diamond. Ultras are weird. That's what it's supposed to. Yes. So the little bit of lore. So I'm a weirdly private person who does not like to, you know, broadcast where I live and what my face looks like and a whole number of other things. So when I started streaming, oh my god, it's been over a year at this point. I know there was like a 1-year anniversary thing, but like, I've been streaming for over a year. Insane. I would like to make a little VTuber, which then I got less ambitious and went with a PNG tuber. But I have always enjoyed sort of media being something that just allows people to get stuff out there. And so I went with a little ink spirit who inhabits printing presses and such, and likes to get information out and so on and so forth. That's why at some point, I really, really hope to put together some video essays. I've got a second YouTube channel that has nothing on it, called The Printing Press Revisited, which is kind of what I was conceptualizing a lot of this around. Oh, curious where I do live? I'm in Pacific with it. I do use the Pacific Standard and Pacific Daylight Times, which would link up with like West Coast of North America. But I will also say that is not necessarily reflective of the time that I use for being at jobs and such. Because I like to keep it a little confusing, because, man, it is very easy to draw information about people. No! And while, in general, I think most people are good, I've had some unfortunate experiences with people who are not. So, that information ain't free. But I do find it very interesting to try to get to know a little bit about a lot of places in the world, and also sometimes throw in little hints that are incorrect as a result of that. Fine, pay 20 cents for it. No. I mean, man, how much do you think the corporations are making off of it? They make probably at least $1 off selling my information. Talked about Canada things and American holidays. Indeed. Which is it? Is it even anywhere in North America? Am I secretly Australian and just have a really bad American accent? Because, I mean, like, my accent is decidedly, like, North American, right? Like, come on. But people can also get different accents different ways. Boop. How many gift subs for Johan to send his exact coordinate location? There is no amount. Trained it, perhaps. I feel like if I trained it, though, I would have better other accents, right? No, but that's, like, generally, genuine internet, like, safety security tip, if you are someone who is interested in obfuscating your information, just remember, hiding your information does not work. Like, you can do it, things will happen. I mean, there have been things, I have intentionally introduced other things, but there have been things that have if people wanted to dig into it, could probably give away some of my personal info. Which I don't like, but I do my best. The thing is, leaks will happen, mistakes will happen, you'll accidentally pull something up on stream, you'll accidentally say something and go, you know, it's something I think of as normal here, but maybe it's not. But best you can do, and this is also true of like masking your internet history, is talk about things that are different. Add junk information to the pile, because while you can't necessarily keep the real information from getting out, if you put enough junk, it gets really hard to sort out what the true signal is. That's part of why I sometimes pull up random internet searches just to F with the tracking cookies. And considering that I've been served an ad in Mandarin recently, I think it's working. Find out about it via an IP grabber. People have IP grabbed me before. And all I shall say is that I'm not concerned. Because, I mean, like, if you aren't futzing your location digitally, that's also going to be something where ads will give you away, right? Google Maps stream went, yeah. Well, no, because, I mean, like, we've had a number of ads for a particular locale that the internet thinks that I'm in. Will not confirm or deny. Ads probably think in English. Calling Robert is probably very dangerous thinking about it. Oh? Monk and Dove are the hardest characters I have unlocked in Necrodancer so far. I don't know. I don't know the difference between them. I'm spreading misinformation on the internet? Yep. Misinformation about myself. Generally speaking, my general policy is like stories about my life. I'm very open with. Like I'm happy to talk about my life. I just try to fuzz things that are potentially concerns about like location, age, etc. Like the blueberry, yes. For example, I talk about a lot of random stories in philosophy, and I was talking about waiting for a bus, and a blueberry came rolling down the hill. I could not see anything that had dropped it. It was just like bam, blueberry rolling down the road. Probably. Ooh. Oh no! New best. Probably a bird dropped it or something, but I got obsessed with the idea that the blueberry had teleported through like quantum teleportation, and now, bam, blueberry. Because it's intriguing. There are hills near me? Yes, indeed. Or there were hills near me, because again, any of these stories, am I still living there? Enemies leave gold when they die. If Monk touches gold, he also dies. Okay, that's kinda great. No, I cannot maintain wealth. I must maintain extreme poverty and asceticism. I shall not touch the gold. That's great. You know, I'm open with stories about my life, lol. Like, I think firework and window and sleeping thing. Oh, yes, yeah. Yeah, which is part of why I like to be a little careful about, stuff, because yeah, I've past couple of years had ongoing harassment from folks in my neighborhood, which sucked. Although, knock on wood, it's been almost a year, so wahoo. But yeah, you know, stuff happens, so generally a good policy to try and keep some things in reserve. Dove just cannot attack enemies. True pacifist. Okay, that makes sense. Both of those make sense. Those are clever character concepts. I like that. Oop. But yeah, so, you know, and it's like, we will absolutely, and I feel like it's been a little while. That's what, most recent, like, hey, let's talk shop about something scientific was, talking about acids and bases, right? Which, we like doing that, and we strive to be correct when we talk about those. Yeah, pH scale, yep. Stuff makes enemies dizzy instead drugs them instead of kills them. More ethical? Question mark? I mean, My opinion on maths? I like maths. I do some tutoring for people who are behind and trying to get out of sort of high school type of thing and get an equivalency. I work on tutoring them math, and I personally enjoy maths, but yeah, I don't know. It is something I'm trying to work more on, like statistics, because I really want to pick up some linear algebra, because I'm interested in learning a bit more about quantum physics, and linear algebra seems to be a big prereq for that. I've been trying to chug along on statistics to refresh myself, since I think that's more generally applicable, and then want to tackle some linear algebra. Dizzy enemies do their patterns backwards. Ooh, that seems terrifying to work with. I hate things that like break the pattern. I mean, fascinating, fun way to add a new dimension to stuff, but I'm going, but why is it doing something different? I was gonna do art based on pH and go testing the values of all your nearby schools, public buildings, water fountains. Oh, okay. Need to do geometry if anything. Yeah, geometry I think was probably my worst math class. Partially, I think I've talked about it before, I have a lot of difficulty with visualization. I have done engineering on a robotics team, and I had a real hard time picturing like physical mechanisms on the robot. I was doing manufacturing for them. You know, you hand me specs, I can translate that onto a piece of metal with a drill press and bandsaw. But yeah, trying to actually like design the pieces and think how they fit together, I really struggle with that kind of visualization. Geometry is a lot of that kind of visualization, but all art tends to come from it. Yes, no, exactly. And like trying, I need to do more drawing, but like trying to learn a little bit about like shape composition, I think has helped a bit. But yeah, a lot of like the logical bits of geometry worked. It was just really hard to develop like a gut feeling for looking at stuff. I have a lot of difficulty with visualization, going to be playing The Witness. Oh no. Oh yeah, no. That's, why do you think, part of why Lingo was such a struggle for me? In a lot of cases, like I loved it, but non-Euclidean navigation, not my cup of tea. But like we started figuring out. I still actually have, I was noticing it the other day, I still have the notepad with the, oh god, what was it? I forget the name of it, but the brown maze that had like our introduction to the brown blocks. I still have the little like non-Euclidean graph that I made for trying to figure out how to navigate that satisfactorily. Well, first hotel attempt this session. Nice. Up, Johan. Participated in a Baba competition? Oh, hell yeah. Did not win, but was fun and chaos. That's awesome, Nobo. Glad to hear it. That sounds like a good time. I know, I still was not... I wanted to do a Baba thing for Baba birthday, but I wanted to have done a Baba thing more than I wanted to do a Baba thing, if that makes sense. I carved out a little time. I'm just like, no, brain, no. No. We'll get there, though. I'm just cramming in a lot of other information right now. Oh, the super short competition? Ah. As in with geometry right now, I'm making a truncated icosahedodecahedron using brazing wire and things, and it's hell, dear god. Wasn't able to join because I had something going on at the exact same time I was running. Aw, no! Scheduling. It's awful, isn't it? Boop, boop, boop. That's part of why I actually tried to schedule the stream like so much earlier today, was because I misremembered. I've got like 2 meetings today. Oh yay, okay. Okay, phew. Sorry, just got an email from the guy that I'm tutoring currently, who has not been like replying for the past week, which I was a little like, oh god, did we lose another one? Because that's one of the things that's like very tough. So if there's anyone who's interested in doing tutoring for folks who are in kind of unstable living situations, something that I have not seen pitched a lot is pointing out that a lot of the job, air quotes job, I'm not being paid for it, but a lot of the work is being okay with your time being wasted, and like not in like, oh, they aren't learning or anything, but in we're scheduling a time and then they ghost you, or sometimes they ghost you for several months. Because a lot of it is, you know, they've got a lot of stuff going on, or sometimes they are also just not like personally very motivated for it. It can be a very tough thing. So I was like, oh god, we lost them again. No, but turns out it was just some very busy stuff going on. So woohoo! Exciting. Up. Just beat 7C a few days ago. It really is worth all the struggle. Hope I find success soon. Thank you very much. I almost feel bad reading the name. Thank you very much, idiot child. Fantastic name. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, we've been going. We've been doing it over the course of several streams, and this is like I'm starting to flag a little bit, but we were getting into sort of the like after the wounce, after the like high-low path option, getting into the like straight movements ice maze. We actually got further than we ever have today, so that's good. But we'll see. Oh, good. You're just in time to see me finish it. Hopefully, I really hope so. I've got another like half hour-ish today, but we've made some good progress, Corker. I'm hoping. So thank you again, idiot, for. Neither is good. Neither abbreviation is good. Together it's still bad, but thank you, idiot child. For the support. I'm sorry, what a fantastic name. 777, I guess, yeah. IC 777, if that works. To see how fast 172 BPM actually is. Oh no, I know. No, Bo. I listen to metal. I know that a lot of metal is not that fast, but I have listened to a fair bit of speed metal in my life, and also I've had some friends show me some math rock. I do truly understand that 172 BPM is almost 3 beats per second. It's insane. Boop. If I've made it into the maze, I can make it. That's the hope. We've made it into the maze several times. We even, you know, we've kissed the maze in past days. But this was the first time we actually like made it past like the first like little stretch of the maze. But we'll see. Yeah, definitely just wait 6 more hours. Oh goodness. Boop. Bum 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 bum. Ah. Okay. If that's a maze, what's 5A? No, and I think 5A definitely leans into the maze aspect. I don't know like what better to call it, because it's not a maze in that there's like branching things, so I guess labyrinth, but just like it's a lot of the like straight lines, which I guess I think of as like a maze structure. That's the song you've played in a band was like 270-ish BPM. The slowest was 44. 270? Pardon? 4.5 BPS? Dear God, man. Whoa! No! Concert music, oh. 5D is just kind of insane with its maze, yeah. But yeah, no, it's I guess yeah, it's technically not a maze because a maze specifically has different paths, right? Whereas a labyrinth is a motif that's been used for a very long time that only has one path, which I do find it funny that like when we think of a labyrinth, we think of like Theseus and the Minotaur, right? Which is not by the definition that is often used in archaeology, a labyrinth. It was in fact a maze. Me being weird about labyrinths. Look, man, like I took a class on religious pilgrimage, and I got really into labyrinths from that. Thank you for the hydrate. Hello. It's really funny, Robert, because quite literally, Took a sip right as you did that. I took a second sip for you, but spooky timing. Hope you're doing well. Guess what? You are obsessed with Lingo 2 and will incessantly ask me to play it. Beat Lingo 2 yesterday. Nice. That's been out for how many days? Second hotel attempt. All right. Wishing you luck. 2 achievements out of 14. So you managed to get to an end, but did not 100% it. Yeah. Okay. That is slightly less deeply unreasonable. Thinking what you have to do at 270 BPM is like 5 beats per second. Each beat while having all the enemy's patterns in mind is insane at high speed. Oh yeah, no, I would cry. Do not get me wrong, Nobo. I would just sit there and bawl my eyes out, whining a lot. Only 19 people have 100% encrypted with the Necrodancer. That sounds correct. Ace is most tricky because you can't get good practice on it because it's so far into a really difficult screen. Yes, exactly. No, I think we've like just barely kissed it like 10 times and we've been like in it 3 times today. But no, that absolutely agreed. That's what how do you prefer to be called, Idiot Child 777? I feel like something like IC777 like seems the least rude, but you also chose the name for yourself, so like if that's how you want to be referred to, I want to respect that. Just realized that abbreviating it to idiot was real rude without asking. But yeah, no, that's absolutely. I think that's a big thing in a lot of platformers like this, right? Is even if a section is probably supremely doable, Idiot Child is fine. I didn't use any tools or debug mode. Okay, we'll go with Idiot Child then. Yeah, no, it's a lot of these where there's sort of like compounding levels. A lot of the difficulty is just the inability to practice it. I think that's like. I remember when we were doing a little bit of Geometry Dash, I think that might have been part of my reticence to use the practice mode, like Alyssa and a number of the other good players were suggesting, just because like, it kind of, I don't know, it feels like that's built into, I know that that's a tool people use, but it kind of feels like part of the challenge of it is that like compounding difficulty of you don't get to practice the later bits as much. Blah! And then I just keep having these issues. Why are so many people in chat red? Don't know. I guess it's a red day. Oh, you know, because isn't that the thing? So, okay, so I know you wear green on St. Patrick's Day because, you know, color of St. Patrick, or at least of Ireland. And that prevents you from getting pinched. I've heard that if someone's wearing red, you're supposed to kiss them. So maybe people are like, you know, let's go out on the internet, put on my nice red clothes on St. Patrick's Day. And because it sticks out. But if everyone tries to stick out in the same way, let's pinch you on. No, that's what I was saying. I know. You guys have free reign to pinch me because I did not think to make my pot green. It's really, really quite disappointing of me. Oop. Ah! Don't do that on Christmas. I've always found like the idea of like kissing someone under the mistletoe like a little weird. Like I have not looked into like the origins of that tradition, but like I know that's typically something that like you are supposed to coordinate that, but I have definitely encountered people who think that's like a ooh haha free excuse to like kiss someone out of nowhere. It's like it's a little weird. Change pot color for holidays when I really should have done that. I've done little outfits before. I have my little cowboy hat when we were doing the cowboy magic set. But I've just been me finding the time and oomph to stream has been my primary thought for it, rather than actually like doing cute little things. I need to work on that. Yes, true. I was also a pumpkin for Halloween, and I I believe I was still a pumpkin for a decent chunk of my Crooked Man playthrough. The missile foe meme? I have not. That is new to me. Lingo 2 demo doesn't spoiler any mechanics for Lingo 2 and just has its own. Oh, gotcha. Well, still, I do wanna play the demo and get at least some idea. From now on, you're on personal best run? Hell yeah! Nice! Instead of Kiss, you just fight the other person? You know what? Weirdly, I feel like that's a more legitimate thing to do. Think it's completely a joke? That's reasonable. But, like, I don't know. Somehow I feel like going like, oh, you're under the mistletoe, huh? Wanna take this outside? I don't know, I'm somehow like more down with that. Because I imagine that's just like, oh haha, let's do some funny posturing. Rather than like just straight up kissing someone. Ah! Oh, well then maybe I'll need to fix that. Introduce the concept from both Lingo games. Gotcha. Second to last dash for completed hotel? Oh? Oh, you were right there and then. Aw, no. Boop. I'm still talking about the time signature hot take. My one music class is long ago. I do actually have the textbook, and I should review that. But I am not fresh on how to do time signatures. Or much of anything with music, really. Boop. Bam bam ba boom. No. Hey. Unfinished custom map support. Ah. Low custom maps, but they corrupt your save file. So work in progress, but considering how much that seems to be a part of the community, that seems importante. Music is one of your strongest suits? Nice. I have a mad respect for people who can do music. A lot of my friends were in some form of like band or orchestra in school, and many of them still play in like little bands that they get together. And a lot of it goes way over my head, but I think it's real neat. I enjoy singing, but yeah, only classic music? Gotcha. Unfortunately, I'm not a big classical person. Lyrics are a very important thing to me. I really like songs as a way to get me to meditate on things. And a lot of classic music just, you know, it's instrumental, and I think it's really interesting to people who know how to produce it. But as someone who is very far removed from that, and like I respect people who can make music, it's just not really my deal. And I think I, as a result, lose out on a lot of the subtlety that a lot of my friends would talk about when they were trying to get me to like listen to classical music. There are a couple of more like classical compositions or composers that I have been introduced to over the years that I enjoy. Christopher Tin, I believe is considered classical, or at least was pitched to me as classical, but has an I guess it's an album called Calling All Dawns that has a different language for each song, which I really enjoy. I especially enjoy the Japanese one, which is a series of like seasonal haiku. But also David Arkenstone did like music inspired by Middle Earth, which I really enjoyed. But yeah, in general, classical is kind of a hard sell for me, but I can understand why people like it. Oh, I did oh, who did that? Tchaikovsky? Was it Tchaikovsky? Shahrazad. It's a composition based around 1001 Arabian Nights, and I really enjoyed that. Like the music that likes to try and tell a story in meaning, like using music as a metaphor, I find very interesting. Yeah, and a lot of times I don't pick up on it, but I like that in concept. I know Octavarium by Dream Theater. The album does apparently some very interesting things with the music, and how it's structured. Boop, boop. Okay. Ah! That is as far as we've gotten, though. More one night? Yeah. Thank you, thank you. Like, we're starting to get some of those, so like that's doable. I don't know if that was quite a PB. I think we did that once more earlier this stream, but like we're getting some of those. We are making incremental, tiny piddling progress. PB-ish. Yes, I will accept that. Peanut butter-ish. I do not have the dashes mapped out in my head. I know that we can use the binoculars for that. I've tried doing that. A lot of times what that just does is overwhelm me, and I try to execute on something. Again, I have a lot of trouble with visualization. And so it's something where I tend to do better with either rote muscle memory or either rote muscle memory or reaction. But I don't have great reaction times. Which is part of what, like, Celeste is very outside my like personal downtime kind of games, which is part of what a lot of why, you know, streaming has been super fun, is it's gotten me exposed to a lot of things I would not have probably played otherwise. I don't think it's aphantasia. I am capable of picturing things. I have a really hard time, especially I can sometimes picture static objects fairly well. It's a lot of time, it's manipulation of the objects in my head is really tough. Yeah, having seen it before. Because yeah, like I can picture a box, right? And that's partly because I've seen boxes before, I can model that, but like I can do that. Trying to rotate the box in my head is actually really tough. What I tend to have to do is like think of an animation I've seen of a box rotating. So it's like I can call back things I've seen sometimes, but it's really tough for me to sort of like project it. Oh wow, so you just complete aphantasia. That's trying to think about how other people think is utterly fascinating to me, because like even though I don't picture things to an extreme degree, like not having any sort of mental imagery is is really hard to picture, right? But I'm sure is probably like one of the first ways that anyone is introduced to this concept. I remember when I was like probably 8 and going like, wait, the green I'm seeing doesn't necessarily have to be the same green you're seeing. But like as common a thought as I think that is, I still find that utterly fascinating, that basically our experience and our interpretation of our senses, as long as we can agree on it, right? Like as long as there's a consistent agreement of it, as long as we view the same, like green, right? That's a certain wavelength of light. That wavelength is emitted due to certain physical properties of materials. So as long as our brain interprets that wavelength in the same way consistently, we can call that green. The way my brain pictures green, like the actual color, there is no way to communicate that, right? Which I've still been thinking about that for almost, it feels like almost a year, but trying to think about like how to communicate red as a color, because we've talked with Alyssa about her being red-green colorblind, I believe. And just like trying to figure out, are there ways to describe the essence of red is fascinating. So you can't rotate a 3D cow in my mind. You're missing out. The cops can't even stop you. I know, right? I could save so much on entertainment if I could. Talking about picturing things? Indeed. Aphantasia is such an interesting thing to me. It's more common than people realize. Some studies suggest maybe even 10% of people have it. Yeah, and there's also different degrees of it, right? Like there's different strata of what people are able to picture. And that's fascinating, that the people you're talking to may have a fundamentally different internal experience. When I think about green, the only thing I think about is just the word green, nothing else. Fascinating. One of the most interesting conversations I've had about this was with a university professor who was a mathematician who learned Russian and had synesthesia for letters and numbers. And that's part of why he got into math, was because he found formulas incredibly pretty because they had all of these colors, and seeing those work in concert. Hey, welcome in, Nathan. Gummy strawberries. Nom. But what I was really curious about was, since he learned Russian, he knew the Cyrillic alphabet, which is a different alphabet. How did his brain map that? And I believe the answer was the Cyrillic alphabet that mapped to English letters. He saw the same. So like the D sound, right? Same color as the letter D in English. I don't know the names of the Cyrillic alphabet, unfortunately. But the ones that had new sounds, if I remember correctly, I forget, I've got the notes somewhere. I vacillate back and forth on this, but I'm fairly confident what he said was that the new sounds didn't get new colors. They either got colors from other letters, or they were just whatever the actual color was. And it's fascinating because it's like he could draw in different colors, and he could still tell you the actual color that the number or letter was written in, but he just also saw it as another color. What is that? So fascinating to me. My brain works in a strictly visual way. It's interesting. Like, if I think of things only visually, if there's something I'm learning that isn't visual, I will just naturally imagine a visual aspect of it. I don't know. I find it that's fascinating. Yeah, because that's so different from my experience, because I can't do that. I try to find visualizations for people, like for talking about like area and volume. I think like the cube stacking is a really good example that I've been using with the guy I'm tutoring. But I don't think that way. That's not how my brain processes that. That sounds like you process only that way. And thank you for the hydrate. Took a sip. But yeah, brains are a neat thing, and that's like playing through the personality test game. It's reminding me a lot of some of my like psych class stuff, and just sort of the fundamental point that brains are wild. We try really hard to figure them out, and I mean, we, in a lot of ways, are our brain, but we know next to nothing about them. It's kind of in the same way that, like, oh, you know, we know less about oceans than we do space, air quotes, but like, you know, we know so little about the oceans on our planet in comparison to like some of the things that we know about the moon. And that's so weird. Our brains, in a similar way, we know so little about our brains compared to pretty much everything else. No. There's evidence out there that different people do experience colors differently, citing the evidence that people have a harder or easier time distinguishing similar colors, even in the absence of observable differences in the eye. It's anecdotal evidence, but it's still interesting. Well, no, and like shade differentiation, absolutely, right? Like I am not colorblind. I do get teased very consistently by friends because I am notoriously bad at differentiating shades of things. Like, I was painting my parents' house when I was younger, and I, despite wanting to finish painting the house for them, had to stop because I could not tell the visual difference in shade between wet and dry paint, so I was applying terribly uneven coats. Ooh, that was bad. And like, so that, whereas my friends could, there are things that are very similar shades that I cannot tell the difference of that are glaring to them, which is fascinating. Like, green doesn't fit between yellow and blue. Red and yellow make orange. Yeah, sure, red and blue is purple. I agree, yellow and blue make green, but, well, that's part of what's interesting there, right? Is green is a primary color in light. So green and yellow are kind of weird, right? Like, because pigment versus light, you get kind of two different ways they behave. There's almost nothing that can't be thought of in some visual or physical way. True, it's just very tough for me to. Sigma needs one more follower for 200? Oh, yo! That's awesome! Well then, hey, if there's anyone here that for some reason has not gone over and checked out Sigma 144, talk about someone who has a great sense of humor and plays some awesome puzzle games. Love hanging out in his streams. I've been very busy, but still occasionally have been able to pop in. Highly, highly recommend. then go check them out, and if you like it, push them on over. Boop, boop. Okay. No! Damn. Stars in Time, yeah. That is on my wish list. I'm excited about that. And Stars in Time has a very funny thing with colors. It's a black and white game, so they just said, oh, there used to be this weird shade called colors. They stopped existing for yada yada reason. Oh, nice. Like, for example, if I'm just like counting a specific thing for fun, like every red car I see on a walk or something, I won't just count, I will visually imagine a floating number in the corner of my visual that will tick up with the sound and effects every time I find a red car. Fascinating. Fascinating. Yeah, that my brain would just melt. Some place that said different ways to grow up can affect the way you see colors. Same goes for language. That absolutely. I've seen some of that. There was one that I was looking at that was a ethnic group from the sort of southern part of the African continent, I think, and I think it was something where they had like 4 different words for like differentiating brown, but like nothing for blue? Something along those lines? Because I know blue was a somewhat late addition, or no, was it blue or was it brown? I forget this, so I'm not going to just prattle without fully remembering, but I know that there's been some stuff about like even the English language took, oh, was it orange? Was orange? I think orange was the color that was a fairly late addition to the English language. But yeah, and like there's some stuff like that where it's like the way we interpret the world is heavily influenced by how we think about it, and words and language shape that a lot. There's different competing theories of like language evolution, but there's a number of psychologists that propose rather than humans getting smarter and developing language, we developed rudimentary language, and that's what led to the adaptation and growth of the brain into what it is today, where, you know, a human brain is way over-spec'd. We're real top-heavy compared to pretty much every other mammal. Interestingly, the number of name colors in a language is sometimes used as a heuristic for how advanced that language is. Oh, interesting. That seems kind of problematic, but interesting. And my friends told me that one of his friends made a PH account and actually uploaded video. Oh, you need to support the homies. As long as they are a consenting adult, but and it's only consenting adults watching. Whew. How would I display something? How would you display something like pie in your head? Good question. Assuming that you know it from memory. I'm 16. Yeah, no, I'm reading what Nobo was saying. How would you display something like pie in your head? Because yeah, like I could see that maybe as being done as like a portion of a circle, right? Because like pi radians, but okay, the starting point, very small of your crochet, it's gotten bigger, but I'm not starting over again. All right, locked in. You've got this. Just imagine a literal pie. Might beat Sigma in followers? Probably not. I mean, like, what, we're at 182? Like, I'm not streaming consistently, and follower count, like, that's a thing I want to celebrate, but that's not, like, I'm not here to make this a career. I'm here to have fun with this. I'm trying to remember that when I'm like, oh, I want to schedule, because I want to schedule. I want to schedule things for y'all, because I want to be respectful of your time, but also, life's crazy. So just trying to be open and communicating about this so that, you know, folks can figure out when it's my schedule is so all over the place. I cannot reasonably commit to collabs right now, really, because I cannot even promise on a given day what my schedule looks like. Because I've got so many interviews, and then if I do get some of the work I'm looking at, I will need to wait until I can know a month in advance. But size is better, or better, but still, it's still big but fine. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the color was named after fruit. Yeah. Which orange is also just an interesting thing because like naranja, but then isn't there like a competing etymology of it that a number of languages use that's very different? I forget what the word is though. Once I would display pi, but I also know with music, with lyrics, if I want to, I will visually imagine the lyrics and sometimes have the line above that shows the pitch volume of the lyric. Oh, huh. Been waiting since 2024. I know, so long. Boop. 1.2 second chunk my brain decides to actually remember over and over. Should I try typing as many digits of pi as possible from memory? I mean, go for it. I do unfortunately need to be wrapping up here soon because I still gotta do a couple of things to prep for an interview in 2 hours. But I will say the interview is at a place where I did my retail work before, and I've actually worked a shift at this particular store, so I'm hoping that will just sort of be a like, look, I'm doing this as a stopgap. You don't need to train me. I have these requirements on my schedule. I will happily be flexible and take as many hours as possible. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully won't wait for 2026. We'll see, because again, like we will see, because depending on how stuff works, working like a full 40-hour week, it may be very tough for me to stream at a time that you all are awake. Because I have been streaming at a time since I started that sort of was replacing the hours that I would work. But we will see. Boop. But yeah, no, like digits of pi from memory. I used to know out to 100. At this point, I see that you sent the chat. I'm not reading off of that. I know, unfortunately, you can't verify that, but as far as I remember, is 3.14159265358979323846, I think? Let's double check myself. 3.141592653589... Oh, 89293. Ooh, uh-oh. 3284. Oh, no. I've mucked it up. No, I mean, this is something that I memorized when I was, like, very, very young, so it's degraded over time. Hate your birthday, you hate that day? Oh? Not entirely sure. Oh, we can look up a source of truth before we sign off. You're upset you messed up the pattern, so now it probably will be wonky or have gaping holes, but I'm just not starting over again, and my niece won't be offended. No, and that's, like, okay, one of my friends is really into a book series called The Locked Tomb. Big recommend, by the way. If you are someone who is into people having a messed up time and interesting magic systems and interesting world building, really recommend it. It was pitched to me as lesbian space necromancers, and you know what? It delivered. Great series. And there was a quote from one of her favorite characters, and I did a little, I sometimes do metal plate engravings by hand. Just like print out a pattern, transfer the ink on, but oh, focusing, sorry. Oh, new PB though. I think we're going to leave it there because I do need to wrap up, and let's leave on a high note. That was so good. We're getting so close, so painfully close, but not quite there. We'll look up pi before I go. I'll finish the story. I also want to pick up one of the things that I saw in chat, but basically, put together a little thing, transferred the ink onto it, and engraved it. And you know what? There's a lot of erroneous scratch lines. Like I did some stuff to buff it out a little bit. I put some wax on it to seal it in, and inking it. You know, I tried to do things. It still kind of looked like crap in some cases. I had to freehand a bit of it, but it's still a thing that is a product that I thought about how to construct it for her, and it's something that I thought she would really like. It was something personal for her, and she appreciated that. And I think that's a really valuable thing in gifts, is even just the effort. Even if the product isn't where you want it to be, there's something that is so much more meaningful about making something, or even just planning something rather than just here's 20 bucks, right? So I'm sure your niece will love it. I don't want to be wrong because I hate it, so I'm just going to leave before I look up. Fair enough. Have a good one, Klaga. I've not gone, I haven't done a lot of Pico 8. I do want to do more Pico 8. I think that's quite cute. I think that's lovely. Mind wave battle of whatever my brain is doing would be interesting. Yeah. Okay. Digits of pi. 3 point what? Oh, wait. Boop. Okay, so I said 3.141592653589793238846. 3.141592653589793238846. Okay, so I do actually have the first. These are blocks of 10. So I have the first 21 digits of pi memorized still. Yay! I used to know out to 100, but cool. Because they just kind of jump off of spikes casually. I see. This has been lovely. Yeah, brains are fascinating. Yeah. Yeah, brains are neat. Boop, boop, boop. Who is live right now? So many people live. Oh my god, Tim's live. I have not caught a Tim stream in forever. We're gonna go check out Tim and Stimpia. All I know is 3.14159. Fair. It's I had Pi Day pencils, and I would use those to memorize out to 100 because I was that kid in class, and then I have lost 80 digits of it apparently, but why, when in life would you need the first 21 digits of pi? Because in elementary school, I wanted to dunk on people with the first 100, and it's degraded over time. Yeah, exactly. Funny. God, I'm not going to share it, but my Wi-Fi password, I still have the default Wi-Fi password. This has been like 8 years. Still have the default Wi-Fi password that's not like a phrase, it's just a series of letters and numbers. And my Chromebook had such terrible connection issues, I wrote it on a piece of tape on the bottom so I could just flip it over and type it in. I have it memorized now. I don't need it to be a good phrase. It is just in my brain and it is indelibly marked upon my soul. Love when stuff is like that. Any case, on that lovely cheery note, thank you all for hanging out. This has been lovely. Love the brain talks. And hopefully people have some fun musing over how people see the world. And hopefully next time we will get through there. We made progress. We're getting there. I believe in me. Thank y'all. It's been an amazing time as always. And thank you for sticking around. It's always great to check in with folks. I'm hoping I will be able to stream from like the 1 to 3 time, maybe even a little longer, we'll see, on Wednesday, but I also have an interview in the morning, and if I am reduced to a blubbering mess, I reserve the right. So, thank y'all. It's been lovely. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Be kind to yourselves. Do great things. But now, go check out Tim. Bye! Oh, the work was fun, but the wages low. Leave her, Johann, leave her. I guess it's time for us to go, and it's time for us to leave her.